There is a viral video of Teboho Malaka. Teboho Malaka is a CEO or a suspended CEO of DTI, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm pronouncing everything right. This comes after there was a thorough investigation into this story. Now, in this video, I seek to give you context as to where is the story coming from. Ichi, that very story of the CEO links back to Minister of Public Works, I think is Deputy Minister, Mr. Zigalala. There was an article that was published on the 30th of May by Amapongane. It says, Amapongane IDT mistrust. How Minister Zigalala and his comrade chair, Nix, probe into CEO. That's one. So, things have happened leading to what we now know. But for you to understand that, you need to go back. On the 6th of April, 2025, there was an article published by Sunday World. The journalist is Bongan Ndagan. The heading says, BBC accuses DA Minister Macpherson of mingling in DTI's operational matters. Right? So you see where we're coming from with this, right? It's a long story. 3 months ago, there was an article that was published by IOL. Specifically, it was published on a Wednesday, August 6, 2020. I'm wrong. But yeah, the article says Minister Macpherson and Daily Maverick must stop the targeted attack on IDT CEO Teboho Malaka. Now, today we are here. On the 29th of July, then they say, IDT CEO Teboho Malaka faces music over 800 oxygen plant tender. Again, coming from Sunday World. It continues to tell us now about the exclusive video. Now, what I wanted to show you with this long introduction is that the story is coming. Oh, yeah, it is a very big story. I'm not gonna play the video from the video from Daily Maverick, but we do know that there's this video that has been leaked, and we now see from the video the CEO being caught right in action, and guess what? She implicates herself, and I am looking at how is she going to turn the story. You need a real spin doctor. But I want you to notice something here, or before we proceed and we embark on these articles. I want you to note something. Please have this at the back of your mind. If you want a tender, who do you talk to? HODs, right? It's not the ministers per se that have powers on operational matters. It's the HODs. So, if you understand that an HOD is that important in an organization, especially government institutions, then you must understand that political parties would like to place their own people there. If you understand that political parties would like to place their own people there as HODs, you must then ask a question: who appointed this person? Which political party is she secretly belonging to? If you can understand that, then you'll enjoy this story. But for you to understand today's episode, we need to start here. If you're not yet subscribed, what are you waiting for? Because to subscribe, it is free. To like the video, it is free. To comment in the comment section below, it is free of charge. To like the video, it is free of charge. You can also join. Click the join button become a member of this YouTube channel, you will pay from as little as 20 Rand a month. You can also make use of the Super Thanks button. You can donate from as little as 20 Rand a month as we proceed. So now I want you to notice this. Before it got to where it is today, let's start with IOL. So they published that story which says that the story was by Michelle Andisile Mayalo. It is becoming disturbingly clear that black excellency continue to be seen as a threat in certain quarters of South Africa's political and media houses. The ongoing unjustified attacks on Independent Development Trust, IDT CEO Malaka, are glaring example of shameful reality. The last offensive led by Minister Dean McPherson and shameful echoes by the Daily Maverick is not just an attack on Malaka and an individual, it is an attack on all black professionals who dare to rise, lead and succeed in this industry. This coordinated attempt to smear her reputation through flavorous lifestyle audit while harassing her family and questioning her personal financial affairs are nothing short of racism, sexist, and dangerous, reckless. That is what they said here. Now, this is by way of example. I'm not going to be able to go deep and deep. You know, it's going to take me time. But right from here, I want to show you one thing. These two, I doubt that McPherson, really it was about interest of justice. I think it was just them settling political scores. But also what they didn't understand was that, you know, the way they phrased things, the way they went about, it provoked the other group. And thus, we are where we are today. This person should have known better. Tebogo Malaka, she should have known better. But again, maybe she was overwhelmed by, look, the evidence was also overwhelming, I don't know. Or there will be a big twist in the story, I don't know. At this moment, what I know is that Sunday World then will also publish their article. On Sunday World, they say, Black Business Council BPC have accused the Public Works Minister, Dean McPherson, of poking his nose into the operational matters of the Independent Development Trust, IDT, the public entity in charge of rolling out social infrastructure across South Africa. McPherson is in the government as a minister through the DA ticket. BBC President Elias Managa told Sunday World on Friday that his organization is demanding an audience with the minister to address issues related to alleged interference. Tension has been brewing between McPherson and IDT bosses over issues related to tenders in administration and organizational affairs of the state-owned entities. So this is by me now. It's not a way in introduction, but it's me giving you context to this war. What we are seeing today, I'm basically saying it comes from here because I'm indebted to you in this YouTube channel. Our responsibility is to give you nothing but the truth, right? So we must go out there, find facts, bring facts together. So, in the interest of finding facts and bringing things together, I've also came to realize an article that reads as follows. In 2023 and 2024, allegation of procurements irregularities against Biglar ITC Chief Executive Tebogo Malaka was swept under carpet by the IDT chair, Gwazim Shengu, and the then minister, Sihle Zikalala. This intervention included quashing a forensic probe facilitated by National Treasure, and what audit by Zigalala's own department. The evidence suggests a parallel effort to investigation into Malaka, clearing the way for her to be elevated from acting to permanent chief executive. Both men denied the accusation. Now, at this moment, you can see that, okay, there's tension here. Remember, we are talking about a deal worth 800 million. Only 200 billion. So only 200 million away to a billion. But I want you to notice how things goes about, or how things transpire. News 24 says, document obtained by Amapongane suggests that former Public Works and Infrastructure Minister Sisihle Zigalala and his close comrade, then Independent Development Trust ITC Chair, Advocate Gwazim Shengo, mounted a parallel effort to shield the Parastal Chief Executive from investigation into a 45 million lease scandal. Internal Communication Board minute draft report shows Zigalala and Mshengu clearing the way for Tebogo Malaka's elevation from acting to permanent chief executive last year, despite mounting evidence of improper on her part. Here's a question that I want to ask you. As a matter of fact, you know, I once came across a report that says most of what's the name of those people who are in charge of who are leading like your universities? I actually found that most of them, they belong to political parties. They say that's one position you can't just easily occupy without being affiliated to political parties. I am asking you a question, and you have to answer me honestly. Where do you think the CEO politically she belongs to? Okay, while you're still thinking about that question, let's do this. Okay, so as we proceed, then I want you to note that these things are very interesting. And I want to say it again. I want you to note that these things are very interesting. Eh? They require you to wear formal clothing when you want to deal with them because they are that important. Right. Now, let's look at this. Internal Communication Board meeting, okay, we've dealt with that. Allegations include that Malaka concluded a lease agreement with political exposed property investment behind the ITC board trustees black and beyond her delegation of authority. The lease for a building adjustment to a nature reserve in Irene Centurion was intended to provide ITT with new headquarters, but the ITT never took occupation, leading to Maputane to sue 14 million in damages. Maputane is directed by the former political Taba Mumfundi and his relative Vonani Mfumandi, the brother of President Ramaphosa's National Security Advisor, Signi Mfumandi. Mopa Tutse has denied wrongdoing or that he had relationship with Malak. Again, all the scandal is funny that one way or the other, the scandal takes you back to Ramaphosa. Now, why you talk about Ket Matlala, that scandal, somehow it links back to Ramaphosa. You then go to the 2 billion scandal that we spoke about in KZN, the feeding scheme in schools. That 2 billion scandal, somehow it links back to Ramaphosa. Now we are talking about this 800 million deal. Somehow it links back to Ramaphosa. Like, it's like all roads leads to Ramaphosa. Okay, again. Part of one of his series shows how, soon after taking over the ITT's chair, Mshengu led his board in quashing forensic investigation facilitated by National Treasure, asking Zigalala to have his Department of Public Works and Infrastructure to conduct a probe instead. Part 2 will examine how Zigalala tasked the department internal auditors, but not to probe allegation against Malak. Go. So I can go on and on and on and on. The important part is that I needed to bring that to your attention so you can understand where I'm coming from and where I am going with this. So then, this then gives you perspective now to this one. Now let's go to the Sunday World article then, which says, Independent Development Trust, ITC CEO Tebo Khomalaka and General Manager for Supply Chain Management Molebedi Sisi are facing disciplinary action over 800 million PCA oxygen plant tender. Public Works and Infrastructure DPWI Minister McPherson released a report on the ITC crisis on Tuesday. This report revealed extensive procurement irregularities, fraud, and government failure at the ITT, and it has recommended disciplinary action against Malaka, Sisi. This includes a number of other officials implicated in flawed tender processes. Okay? So, the long and short of the story is that the tender was given to a non-existing company. So 800 million down to the drain. Done and dusted. No question asked. Right? So the video that you saw today, it comes from this context. What was important was that I needed to paint this picture so you understand where we are coming from. Now that you understand where we are coming from, you will then understand where we are going. However, I would like to say this. This is a war, a battle of supremacy. I doubt it's a battle of integrity and corruption free. It's two political parties coming together, DA and ANC, showing off each other. Like they are proving each other who's the boss. You look at the fact that you have media houses going at each other, but when you're looking at the driving forces, it's these people here. It's not necessarily the media houses going at each other. It's because of who is backing them. Now, I am not necessarily saying the journalist of Daily Maverick, in a way, he didn't do his job. But I'm saying, I'm looking at the motives of all the people involved, the journalists, the media, the ministers, and all the stuff. You can somehow see that, okay, this one belongs to this side. This one belongs to this side. So in a way, as I'm sitting here, I don't think that both of them have good intentions. In a way, both of them. But the other one, the McPherson group has won because now they've been able to expose this. So because of that, it's going to be difficult for this one to come back. I will see how. But, you know, with a good spin doctor, you can. You know what I'm saying? With a good spin doctor, you can. Now, let me now take you into another article that was released on the 28th of October 2024. The heading of the article says, Ghost Company backs 428 million oxygen plants tender for state hospital. Ghost Company. The article then says the Independent Development Trust, acting as a project manager for Department of Health, has appointed private contractors to install oxygen plant at 55 government hospitals. The 836 million project raises similar red flags at the Digital Vibes Fiscal, with bulk of the spend set to go to an obscure company lacking the requirement accreditation. Balkan Petiwal Ltd is something of a jack of all trades, one of those entities that regularly submit bids for all manner of government tenders. Roadworks, laundry equipment, even mops or bucket. Those are just few of the product and service Balkan has tendered for over the years. The company has its finger in other pies too. Last year, Balkan applied for prospering right to mine iron ore, But let's jump into this one. After the tender process fraud with all alleged irregularities, this lately unknown company has clinched 428 million deal to install highly technical pressure swing absorption PSA oxygen plant at government hospital all over South Africa, as a chemical process absorption differs from absorption. I don't know the difference there. I wouldn't lie to you. So this is where the story was coming from. You understand? This is the information that you needed. I can go on and on and on about who was involved, when they were involved, but the most important thing is you understanding the context. Now, it takes us to the video of the day, released by the very same journalist. But in possible, the most brazen act of attempted bribery ever recorded on camera is in this country. The ITT suspended CEO and the entity spokesperson offered this journalist 60,000 in cash to bury an ongoing Dairy Maverick investigation. Please drop the ongoing investigation into an alleged corruption. 60,000 cash offer and promises of more reward if the journalist agreed to cooperate and caught on camera. The story has done what has happened. There is something that I'm noticing. Now, I won't address it now because it's going to discredit the journalist in a way. But I feel that politicians somehow have a way of controlling media. And I'm going to tell you why I'm saying that. Because I'm looking at the media houses having a go at each other. I'm like, nah, man. No. You see this? That move must be studied. It must be studied. But nevertheless, we will talk more about it. Maybe on the next episode. But until then, please take care.